Well, welcome back to the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup, and a shout out to No Nonsense Scott Price. Have a listen to this. Right there on the bomb.
Well, this is going to be a very...
What a call from Scott Price. Me and you, Simon, in our off-air sort of chat, as soon as we went to break, we were like, I'm not sure that call was right, but it was checked in the aftermath, and Scott Price was a very tough call there, and he got it absolutely on the money.
Yeah, all credit to Scott there. Bang on. Yeah, my gut feel straight away was he got that call wrong. My gut feel was that he played the shot after the gong went, but you could clearly see there, we watched it back on replay on a few times during the break, and he's got the call absolutely spot on, and all credit to him.
Well, talking about bang on.
Yeah,
bang.
I mean, yeah, have some of that.
That is an absolute bulldozer of a break from Tom Cousins. It's like he's hit that with a Kalashnikov, not a cue. What a hit.
It's just incredible. What a weapon.
Oh, what a shot as well from Shane, just to open things up. This is going to be a very quick frame. Terrific break. Opens all the balls up, apart from the 8 ball. They wanted to be yellows, and now they can be. They're all there. This is top-level stuff, this, from Thompson and Cousins. It just left a slightly awkward shot for Tom, who couldn't get much movement on the cue ball there, but Shane just needs a good recovery pot and they're back on track.
Yeah, Shane will be fairly comfortable with this sort of pot. It looks trickier than it is to a player like Shane. I was going to call him Tom then, but just strokes them in. He might even be annoyed with himself that he's gone a half a roll too far. He wanted to be a half a roll short of straight on the one to the right centre, and he's gone a half a roll too far, but he did just die it in. Tom still has to take the one in the middle.
Easy enough. Still absolutely love the Tom Cousins cue on the table.
Chalk on the table, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, not the cue. that would be pretty special.
Yeah.
But he does often play like he's playing in his living room at home. It's a brilliant attitude to have. Just makes big occasions not look like big occasions, and that's actually, it's actually a real attribute. The two of them look so much better than at any point in last year's competition.
Yeah,
they struggled in round 1. They struggled as well in their last 16 group. But it looks like, to me, I don't know this for sure. I'll ask Tom maybe after the show. But it looks to me like Tom's had a bit of table time and looks comfortable and confident. And a comfortable and confident Tom Cousins is a very, very dangerous player indeed. John Rowe on the break.
I agree with you 100%. I think Tom looks sharp tonight, but as a partnership, I think they look fantastic.
Golden break! John the Ringer has a thumbs up for you all at home. He's absolutely hammered those. Front ball golden break. Not often you see those. And straight into the middle pocket as well. Let's await it. Here we go. What do we reckon to that, John? Yeah, good job.
Oh, that's fantastic. I tell you what, we've been raving about Tom's break, and rightly so, but John has one of the best breaks you will ever see. It is an absolutely huge weapon. Look at the break. Forget about the 8 ball going in. How good was that break anyway?
Oh,
and then the 8 ball goes
hammer, wasn't it? I mean, we've just seen there 2 of the best breaks you'll ever see on this table from Tom Cousins and John Rowe. Their reputation preceded them, but goodness me. 2 of them striking the ball beautifully.
Follow that, Shane.
Yeah. 1-1 in the blink of an eye. Eight ball in motion again. Is this one going to be dry? No, not quite. Back in your chair, Roberts. You're just thinking about it.
Yeah, it looked dry just long enough for Lewis to lean forward in his chair and look a little silly. But yeah, no, it's going to be Shane with a chance.
Last ball rolling, and it didn't even roll when it dropped in, didn't it? And this is actually a lovely split as well.
If Shane would love to be able to flick out the bad yellow at the same time as potting this one, I don't think he can.
Does that mean he tries to, because that is the obvious shot to play. Does it mean he comes down the table to come back up?
Yeah, I can make a case for taking the yellow long and then leaving the one where it is and flicking it out. How is he going to deal with that ball now? It's not in the worst position for a double. But what are you going to play on it after the double? It's actually a very bad ball.
Yeah, it is now. I'm slightly surprised to see Shane not play essentially this shot that he's playing now a moment ago. It is going to be the double.
Yeah, if he played the ball he's just played now, the shot before, and come back and finish short of straight on the one he potted originally, then he would pot that one, flick half ball off the yellow off the cushion and be on that ball, and potentially be on other balls at the bottom of the table. So I'm surprised he hasn't gone that way, but he's backing his doubles. I think he's straight enough he won't lose the cue ball. But he was actually, because he was trying to get straight on it to not lose the cue ball, he's not come far enough. He's gone too far, so that it's sort of squeezed off. You see there, and that's sent the cue ball up as well. So if he actually needed to be short on that one to be able to make that double.
He's had a little bit of a rub there, though. He's not left Lewis Roberts on absolutely anything here. So Lewis is just going to play safe, wants a good cue ball, and he's got one.
Good hit from Shane, was snookered, but not a lot he could do with it. So Lewis comes to the table and quickly has a look to see whether the red goes past the yellow at the top of the table, because that's the ball that's hampering him. Although the two reds look like they plant comfortably enough anyway, so it's not the end of the world if it doesn't.
Yeah, we talked about the last game being really important because it was the two pairs who'd lost their opening matches. Lewis again going to just play safe. He's not right behind the red, so he's left a shot for Shane Thompson here, which is a little bit miffed about, you could tell. It's not an easy shot, but he's left something, and player Shane's quality, you just never really want to let him back to the table with anything to go at, no matter how small. But this match is of big significance. Whoever wins this match is in the box seat for qualification. Just need to avoid defeat in their final game. Whoever wins this one, Shane with a tough pot. It's a great effort. But Lewis Roberts, in playing the percentages, has come out. And now his job is the, well, simple enough task of clearing these 7 red balls.
Yeah, question mark over the two rods at the top of the table. Does the left-hand one go past the yellow? And if not, how comfortable is the plant? I think it is fairly comfortable. Now, to get to that plant, you'd probably want to play the one by the 8 ball, which the yellow has just gone into a position to make that slightly trickier to land nicely on.
Yeah, Lewis's previous gripes when he's played in these arena matches has been with the shot clock. He's still got an extension to use here. Played that one nicely.
Yeah, does the red at the top of the triangle area, bottom half, now go to the bottom right-hand corner? Because if not, that becomes a tricky ball and you're leaving balls at the bottom end and now clearing up the top end. And I'm not against trying to clear these at the top first, as long as that one goes to the bottom right. Which it looks like it does.
Yeah, you just had a little peek of that one there, didn't you? Yeah. So the plant then for Lewis Roberts is tricky. Doesn't look dead set, so he's got to engineer it.
I think he wanted to be a little bit straighter on it than he is as well.
It was set. Overhead was throwing me off massively there, but either way, it's not come out for Lewis Roberts.
That's why he wanted to be straighter on it, so he could just play it and screw back and stay on the ball he was hitting.
Can he pull off something special here? Or can he find a way to somehow hide this white ball?
I don't think there's a hiding place. There's nowhere to go with this cue ball.
Yeah, now he uses that extension.
There's not a lot you can do here. This is horrible. I mean, he's having a look to see whether he can clip this in the right centre. There is very little gap between the balls.
It's not a bad effort. Has he had a result? Not quite. It's not an easy shot for Shane. He's got awkward cueing, but he can pop this yellow at the bottom of the table. He's had a little bit of a rub in the fact that Shane's slightly awkward on this, but he's a really good cueist, this Shane, and also handler, a very tall man. So shots like this are a little bit easier.
Oh, that's gone wrong.
Yeah, it has gone wrong. Needs to play this at an absolute dream down the rail here. This is a tough one.
He can't get good position on the next ball. He can't get away from the cushion, and when you see him putting his cue at the top of the table, he can play very short position for the one at the top. But even that wouldn't get him a nice angle to get onto the last one.
He needs to play a really good shot here.
He's cued that well. And I tell you what, I say he couldn't get great position on it. He's actually in as good a position as he could be now. He can now play it just a little bit of top spin, and depends how close and how good he wants to get on that yellow, I guess. If he plays it just top spin, he's going down not quite the centre of the table. Yeah, you can see there, it's just coming down the left-hand side of the table, but that's fine. Yeah, slight grimace because you would love to, in normal circumstances, just use the right-hand side cushion, but he's slightly worried of the red that's there, and then trying to get into it more to avoid the red. You could get too high on the table. Yeah, had to get quite close to that red. Played it well. Still a tricky 8-ball.
Yeah, he has played it well. It's been a tricky little run out this actually for Shane Thompson. He's really showed his class, but now one more final flourish for the safe cracker. Never in doubt. Never in doubt. Shane Thompson puts his pairing 2-1 in front. Well, Lewis and John have been enjoying plenty of support in the club. They've also got plenty of support back home as well. Gracie May and Georgie, Lewis's two girls, watching at home with his partner Trish, cheering them on with some homemade banners as well. Team John Lewis out in full force.
That is absolutely awesome, really is.
And he looks like he's enjoying himself out there as well, Lewis, which is great to see. Tends to be a good time when you're hanging out with John Rowe.
Yeah.
And those two have a Scotch frame to navigate here with John on the break. Goodness me.
I mean, that break, I mean...
I can't wait to watch this in slow motion.
How's it dry?
This cue ball nearly takes out the sun. Look, that's so high. I've never seen one that high. That's crazy.
I think John's come into this match and thought, wow, all this talk about Tom Cousins' break, watch this. He has given that everything. How is it dry? It's unbelievable.
I mean, look at the split he's left as well. This might be short work for the pairing of Tom Cousins and Shane Thompson here.
Yes, it well could be. These reds look pretty good. I don't think the red by the 8-ball goes in the middle, but the plant's no problem. Could even play for it in the top corner. Eight-ball might be an interesting one.
Oh, Michael Tomlinson and Andy Appleton. Team Dog in the house, and they're well supported tonight. And a miss. And in fact, an in-off. That is disaster striking for Shane Thompson and Tom Cousins.
Yeah, I'm really surprised at that. I can understand why they want to get rid of the red by the 8-ball. But they didn't land particularly nicely on it, and they could have actually left that one by the 8-ball as their last ball and gone long with it, or they could have waited and gone for the plant later on. They took on the high terrace shot, and he's missed it. Unfortunately for him, and going in off just adds insult to injury.
Well, this now is a massive frame. The difference between 3-1 and 2-2.
Does Lewis fancy the combination shot? Doesn't need to, just opens everything up. He's going to take it on.
Cued that one nicely as he just died the cue ball a little bit on the way back.
I think he's okay. I think the yellow does pass to the right centre. He'll be running away from the rest of the work, but he's on the one to the bottom left. I think everything's actually in good shape here.
Guilty of watching that overhead again. I'm still not convinced it goes, but look at that, it goes by a mile. Really does make us look very stupid at times.
Yeah, it does. It was actually nice to have Jack William on commentary with me all on Sunday, and you know, just so that we get some of the players to get fooled by it as well, so it's not just us two.
So 15-second shot clock now in action for John Robert. Try that again. Lewis Roberts and John Rowe.
I think just stick with John Lewis.
Looks like they might be. Can they avoid the 8 ball here?
I think they're going to just drift by it.
Yeah, just a little flick, but that's fine. This for 2-2, and it's game back on in the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup. Team John Lewis on the move. And a bit of a chastening moment for Shane Thompson and Tom Cousins. It was a bad shot.
Yeah,
Shane.
That was their opportunity to get 3-1 in front and give themselves a little bit of breathing room in the back of this match. And that could be a key moment on the night as a whole. And yeah, this game really, especially at the level they play at, comes down to decision making. And you know, we could be raving about a great choice of shot if he makes it, but I wonder when they didn't land nicely on it, because for me it wasn't just the plant. It was a tricky pot, or essentially if you make the pot, you make the plant. It was more the cue ball he had to watch, and he actually got the cue ball side of things right, but that's where his focus was on the shot. Big moment here for Shane. Can he find a ball and give himself another opportunity? Yes, he can. What's the chance like? It's okay. It's okay. It's the same problem whether you go reds or yellows. The extra problem of the 8 ball if you go yellows. Put the red and yellow together on the top right-hand corner. That's the problem to solve. The red at the bottom goes. The 2 yellows at the bottom go. Now red's is Shane's choice. He can play the other red at the top of the table. You can just see it there. I think his plan will be to play the red off the red. Just a little flick. He's going to go on and off the cushion, and it could be his last ball. He could leave it high up there so it becomes the last ball for the 8 ball. Depends how it comes out. He played it straight in the end. That's a very strange shot.
Oh, Shane.
I need to see that one again. I'm not entirely sure what he was trying to do here.
Answers on a postcard.
I'm wondering whether it goes into the left centre pocket the way he's played that one or not. I mean, if he was trying to go into it, you were never flicking it on the way he was playing it. That's a very strange one. For those of you that play pool down the pub and enjoy a game, you know, that's the number one player right there that's just had a dead straight pot and followed it in. So if Shane can do it, anyone can do it. John, when he tried to develop his bad yellow, has knocked it into an awkward place. Just above the right centre pocket is awkward. So this isn't an easy out for John, even though he gets the opportunity. And of course, 15 seconds a shot.
Yeah, Shane Thompson might be offered a reprieve.
Eyeing up the double. We saw Shane have one of these a little bit earlier on, and John's just that extra couple of rolls lower, which allows him to make it, but he gets the cue ball wrong. He's run aground.
This needs to be some shot. He doesn't even take it on.
Well, that makes the possibility of a draw very real indeed.
Yeah, there's potential mileage in this, and I think if you're Shane Thompson, you take mileage.
The other thing is, we don't consider, I certainly don't consider that much, is what's it going to be like for the other players out there? Lewis and Tom have to sit there as their tournament hangs in the balance right now. It must be torture for them.
Yeah, I don't know if it will be quite enough to put some lines on Lewis's face, but I was having a joke with John before competition got started today. Shane going game here. Well, I'll tell you about this in a moment, because Shane Thompson is going for these.
And that's a gamble. That is a gamble, because
he's got to get them.
He's now got to get them. He could have just said, yeah, let's take the draw, but he wants to go, and they haven't come out great. If this double doesn't land, then he's handed the frame.
Handed the match. Needed to get it, hasn't got it. And now John Rowe has to get his skates on. 38 seconds.
He's been lucky. Shane has been lucky. The 8 ball is now tied up by the red. Looked like it was going to be left wide open. John needs to time this right. In fact, he doesn't need to time it right. It's going to be not enough time left for Shane anyway. So John will get, at worst way, he's going to get a double at this 8 ball. Could play 2 cushions into it.
Oh, hello.
He'll take that.
What a shot that is. The ringer, to do it on the bell, has punched it home. And there will be 3 seconds left. Brilliant clearance from John Rowe. It's not over just yet, but it is all but over.
Yeah,
I think Lewis Roberts has the next break.
That was a big gamble from Shane. That really was. He didn't have to take it. He could have just said, okay, let's take the draw. I know that taking the draw means that there's a chance for a 6-red shootout rather than it's not in their own hands. But the gamble there was, it wasn't guaranteed to come out, and if you take it on and don't get it, you're going to hand away the match.
It's all about a game of opinions and a game of decisions, ultimately. Shane's chosen to go aggressive. It's not quite come out. Lewis just needs not to foul here, and he is absolutely fine. Match over. Team John Lewis are into the final round of matches, needing just to avoid defeat to advance into the next round. They are moving on up in the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup. Shane Thompson and Tom Cousins on the ropes when we come back.